What's going on, guys? My name is Oreo Token, and today we're going to be talking about Season of the Splicers, the next season's meta, what it could look like, kind of the weapons that are going to take center stage as the recent This Week's at Bungies have come out, talking about different weapon changes for PvE and PvP. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we have 4 different types of weapons that we're going to be talking about in this video, and timestamps will be on the bottom for all these different videos. The first one we're going to be talking about is exotic scout rifles, Dead Man's Tail, and Mida multi-tool. Those are going to be grouped in as one of the 4. The next one is going to be fusion rifles, how fusion rifles are going to get changed in the meta coming up. After that, 450 auto rifles, what Bungie has said they're going to do with 450s. Then after that, SMGs. So let's go ahead and take a look at exotic scout rifles. So the big thing that's really made scout rifles become more meta is this perk called No Distractions. Have you guys heard of it? Well, if you haven't, you're about to hear about it now. So what is No Distractions? Let's read it, what it says. Because of an exotic change below, the sniper rifle flinch changes in the Season of the Chosen, we wanted to make No Distractions a more appealing option for combating flinch. So No Distraction is purely a flinch combatant, and right now flinch is kind of a big thing in Destiny. I've noticed it a lot more recently than I have in other seasons as this one. So let's take a look at what they're doing. Reduce trigger time from 1.5 seconds to 1 second, and increased flinch reduction from 30 to 35%. So what this is saying is it's going to proc faster and has a greater flinch reduction while you're aiming down sights. So PvP, flinch is a big thing. If we're trying to land consecutive headshots with our Mida, flinch is going to be the most important thing you're going to want to look at there. And speaking of Mida, let's talk about why this is important for Mida. Mida multi-tool is getting a buff, basically replacing its outlaw perk on the Mida, which already was a fast reload, and adding No Distractions in. So we're making one of the smoothest, easiest scout rifles to use, the Mida multi-tool, even easier to use and combat flinch by adding No Distractions on there. So if you're rounding a corner and there's someone laning a lane with the Mida multi-tool, they are going to snipe you in the face basically with their Mida multi-tool. Once you include Mida's changes to the Dead Man's Tail that's out there right now, Dead Man's is the strongest scout rifle, maybe even the strongest primary in the game right now. They have plans on, they said, bringing it back in where it needs to be, but Dead Man's is probably one of the most overpowered primary scout rifles in the game. With those two combined, it will make the scout rifles so much more deadly. For scout rifles as well, on the Nightfall playlist for an adept role, they are reintroducing the Hung Jury. If you never played D1, this was one of the best PvE scout rifles in the game, and they're bringing it back as an adept. I mean, I know people don't like bringing back D1 weapons, but there are some favorites out there, and I'm happy this is one of the ones coming back. So another reason why scout rifles are going to be strong. This is another PvE option that they're going to add in for scout rifles. Right now, scout rifles are not in a very strong place, but I can see Bungie buffing scout rifles in PvE, or making it a champion mod like it is right now to make scout rifles have another place in the game. And when you're talking about end game content with scout rifles, they are perfect because they keep distance but add damage to the enemies from a distance where you can play it safe. So scout rifles need to be really watched out for. So let's take a look at our next one, fusion rifles. Alright, so it's not going to be an uncommon sight, I'm calling you now, to see Bastion running around in trials, in PvP, and anything PvP related because of this buff. What they're doing is they're increasing damage fall off start distance for fusion rifles. No effect on 100 range stat. They're adding 2 meters to your base range. So now fusion rifles will start hitting 2 meters further with its full range. What that means is your Erentils of the world, your Bastions, your any fusion rifle that has a fast fire rate now can reach out a little bit further, separating it a little bit more from the quote Fell Winter's lie out there. Just throwing that out there, Fell Winter's lie, making fusions a almost counter to shotguns is what they're trying to do, and they'll be able to map. But you know, you gotta remember, there is Bastion, there is Telesto still in this game, so with those two things in there, fusions will be strong and are getting stronger for the exotics that are already overpowered. So Bastion, we'll be seeing you a lot in PvP. Not looking forward to it, but hey, now fusion rifles are going to be a little more competitive. Another thing that we need to talk about is for fusion rifles is the return of Reservoir Burst. They have hinted, DMG has hinted, that this perk is coming back to fusion rifles. So we're basically getting chain reaction on our fusion rifles with this perk, stating when the battery is full, your next burst deals additional damage and causes enemies to explode to death. This is adding back in our chain reaction to our fusion rifles, making it a very good add clear weapon. So fusion rifles are coming back to being add clear weapons. This is basically like adding Desperado on a high impact pulse rifle, cough cough messenger. You know, like that's what they're doing. They're bringing it back. They're trying to undo sunsetting is what they're doing, but by doing that, making us grind for those weapons once again. You know, I don't know how I feel about that, but I like having the perk back, so thank you, but no thank you. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, so next one we're gonna talk about is 450 auto rifles. We're specifically going on to 450 auto rifles because of a couple things. The first one, they are increasing precision damage on 450 only from 17 to 18 damage per bullet. So as we go through PvP, you're going to be able to do more damage per headshot with your base damage. Get a rampage, get a kill clip, become charged with light. It's going to be doing extra damage on top of that. In addition to that, the changes with subsistence is also going to affect how this works. So subsistence no longer reduces reserve ammunition. So think about your PvE, and in PvP you get a kill, it gives you back ammo. Well, it doesn't take out your reserve, so you don't have to worry about running out as you just continue to slay out. Amazing. After that, it talks about the submachine gun change, which we'll talk about a little further down. But 450s are going to start doing more damage overall. These are your shadow price adept or regular shadow price. These 450s have been neglected ever since the auto rifle meta. They kind of nerfed them, but now they're starting to bring them back up. They are rewarding the players who've grinded for the shadow prices to say, hey, these are now useful. We want you to grind our end game content because we're going to buff them the next season. So that's a precedent that Bungie's putting out there. But with that being said, 450 auto rifles are going to be very, very good in both PvE and PvP because of, like I said, the subsistence perk and because of the damage changes to precision damage. Last but not least, SMGs. SMGs in PvE are about to become a little bit stronger because of that subsistence perk we talked about. So if you have an iKilleth SMG that has this, let's talk about why it's about to become meta. What the subsistence perk says is no longer reduces reserve ammunition. So when you get a kill, it does not reduce your reserves. It gives you back, basically refunds you weapon ammo, which is also really, really, really nice. Then it says submachine guns now receive the same ammo fraction per takedown that auto rifles do, from 10 to 17%. So the likelihood of you running out of ammo now with a submachine gun once you get a kill is going down. If you chain kills, your ammo will come back, which was a main issue with subsistence before, is you would never get your ammo back because it wouldn't give you enough back. So with that being said, if you're killing, just wiping out, you know, trash mobs of dregs or well, I guess the fallen on our side now, so we can't do that, so of hive or thrall, this will be a huge way to kill thrall and get your ammo back and never have to reload. Reloading is basically the curse, the sin of how you die. At least that's how I die. So this is going to make SMGs so strong in PvE. And then you got to talk about the different things like Dragonfly or Sympathetic Arsenal or Unrelenting. The changes that they're adding here are making these weapons just a little bit stronger. So don't just go away throwing away some of your SMG rolls. Take a look what the perks are and see if any of that's changing for your SMG. All right, so those are our top 4 weapons that I want to bring up that really are going to make a difference next season. Scout rifles, fusion rifles, auto 450 auto rifles, and SMGs with that subsistence perk. What do you guys think? Are there any ones out there that I have missed or that you think also will have a big effect on the meta next season? Let me know. We're not talking about, you know, your typical, oh my god, I can't believe snipers are still oppressive. You know, that's still gonna be there, or shotguns, but I want to see what you think about some of these buffs that they're bringing in. Obviously the passionates come out on Tuesday, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about it as well. Once again, my name is Oreo Token. Love to make this content for you guys. I love to hear what you have to say as well. We stream on Twitch. Twitch chat lols. The Twitch website is in the description, and come stop by. We have a great time out there playing Apex and Destiny, and I'll see you guys in Destiny. Have an amazing one. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.